Hello, hello. I'm just setting up the live stream on TikTok as well as YouTube. Please bear with me. Right, I'm not adding a topic. I don't know what that means. No, I don't want a topic. Oh. Oh, that's good. Why do I need to add a topic? TikTok. Polymer Clay. It wants me to do a topic of Roblox. I don't know why. Home. Fine. No, I don't want this. Oh my goodness, something is going wrong here. Right, let's try and start this again. Live. Don't want gaming. Sorry about this. Hello, everybody. Let me take this out of here and see if I can. I'm going to close TikTok and start again, I think, because it is not working. I hope everyone has had a lovely day and we are excited to do the live polymer clay workshop tonight. I don't know why it wants me to say that I'm gaming. Polymer Clay Earrings. This is so strange. I don't know why it's... Oh, here we go. Mobile gaming. No, that's not right. Here we go. It's a good thing I start a little bit early. Polymer Clay Earrings. Every time I get everything ready, okay, I think we're there. I think we're there. Are we there? Right, I hope we can all see. Can the YouTubers see? Let me pull this down a bit. I always start this too high, so then I can't read the comments properly. Let me move my camera down again, as I always need to do. And as always, as soon as you're live, let me know. Tell me you're there. Say hello. Let me know if there's any problems. Can you hear me on can you hear me on TikTok? Can you hear me on YouTube? Hello, Sandra. I'm so glad you're here. I've been so stressed about your kit not arriving, but it's okay. Everything's fine. We got it. We got it there. You know, these things sometimes happen, I guess, but really glad the problem is fixed. So hopefully everybody is here and ready with their Polymer Clay Earrings kit. I bought this from a lovely company called Peaches and Tea. There's a lovely lady called Chloe. She is an expert on polymer clay earrings and hair clips and brooches and blah, 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 all the other things. So yes, if you want any more polymer clay, I mean, you can get it from anywhere, but she does these lovely kits. Hello, Helen. Finally made it back to a live. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here. Hello. Right. So we've got Sandra. We've got Helen. Who else do we have? It says there's one person online, but there's clearly more than that because I've just seen some of my family and people. Oh, Diane's on. Hello, Diane. Hello. Lottie's here. Hello, Lottie. Yeah, the likes are coming already. So just to let you know, the things that we need before we start, I will probably say this a couple of times because, oh, there's a dog coming down here. You need to be upstairs, please. Naughty pup. Hello. Get upstairs, please. Go on. Shut that door. Oh, no, I won't. I'll shut that door. One sec. Cool. Right, so before we start, if you could get something to work on. This clay does stick to things. So if you've got some baking paper, if you've got a cutting board, if you've got just a tray, something that you can work on, that you can wipe clean, that would be really, really handy. You could do it on a tablecloth, one of the plasticky ones. I'm going to do most of it on my baking paper. I don't know if any of you saw the video that I posted today, just to say, can you get these things ready? None of these things are absolutely essential, but they may help. So you can have them if you want to. You will need something to wipe your area and potentially wash your hands, because the colors, especially the darker ones, the dark blue, if you go from working with the dark blue straight to the white or one of the lighter colors, you're going to transfer that color. So you need something, wet wipes, or I've got a bowl of water here and a cloth, and I've got a surface cleaner and some kitchen roll. So if you go off, hi Balula. If you go off and get a few of these things, if you've got them, it will be really helpful. So bowl of water, or wet wipes, spray cloth, kitchen roll. If you have any pliers, that will be handy. You don't have to. Don't panic if you don't. If you did the glass resin flowers kit, you will probably still have some pliers. This is only if you want to be making earrings with the little, what are they called? They called them, what are those rings called? I can't remember. Anyway, you don't have to assemble your earrings tonight. We're just going to make the shapes tonight. So if you want to assemble them and add the last minute touches, then we'll be doing that later. Again, if you want to varnish your polymer clay earrings, you'll have the difference between something like this that are shiny. Can you see that? Hang on, let me try and get it to focus. Something like this that are shiny. That light is too bright for those. Or something like this, which is matte. These are my favorites. I should really be wearing these tonight, shouldn't I? I'm going to wear them because I love them. Let's see what they look like. Let's see where the placement is on those, on where I've put the actual things that go through your ears. Look at them! How festive as well. So, what do you think? Sorry, I haven't been looking at the comments. If you've been commenting, I'm really sorry if I've missed it. If you want me to know anything, send another message. Oh, I think they've changed the number of people that, when it's people viewing, I think it shows me how many followers and how many non-followers. And you know what? These look really big, but they're really lightweight. They don't feel heavy at all. So these are a perfect Christmas or festive period earring. Don't you think? I really love these ones. So I've also made these ones. Those. And these ones. And I have varnished these. Oh, thanks for the "you're awesome" to my live, Charlotte. Have I shown you all of them now? Yeah, I've shown you all of them. And obviously these little stud ones, which I've stuck 2 studs together because I quite like the 3D effect of those. Can you see? So there are different options as what you can do with these. You will need to turn your oven on. So should we go and do that now? I thought I bought an oven tray in here as well. It might have been tidied away. Right, I'm going to go and put my oven on. And if you guys do the same, we are putting our ovens on to 100 degrees. Okay, no higher than that. We're going for 100 degrees. Let's go and turn our ovens on. And another thing you're going to need is a baking tray. Okay, so just to recap, we're going to need a bowl of water or something to wash your hands and the surface with. So wet wipes, a spray and kitchen roll, or a bowl of water and a cloth. We're going to need a baking tray. We're going to need some baking paper. All of these things are not essential. You can put it in your oven on whatever you cook with. So don't panic. If there's anything you haven't got, please don't panic, because you can cope without. I've got a craft knife. You don't need specifically a craft knife. You might make yours tonight, but bake them tomorrow. It's been a day. Absolutely fine. No worries at all. Yeah, you might need a craft knife if you've got one, or a kitchen knife, pliers if you've got them. Yeah, that's everything, I think. And some clear nail varnish. Again, when it's all finished, if you want that look, you can add some clear nail varnish. You can get it super cheap. You don't need proper lacquer or varnish or anything like that. Nail varnish is absolutely fine. Right, are we all good to begin? Has everybody got their kit? Is everybody ready? Give us a thumbs up, give us some likes, give us some waves or whatever. Just let me know you're there and you can hear and everything is going well in your life. Yay! Thank you very much, Helen. Right. Thanks, Sandra. Yeah, right, okay. Is the view of the camera okay? I'm sorry, you can see my bowl here. Actually, you can see the bowl and the ring light a little bit with that one. Let's move that over so you don't have the ring light in your view. Is that okay? Is that view okay? Right, we do need to pull up our sleeves. We don't want any fluff from our clothes in this. Once we get this polymer clay out, you want to keep your surface as clean as possible and everything away from that clay, okay? You want to keep your hands as clean as possible. Right, we're going to open our kits. Is everybody happy? Do you have any questions? Anyone else in the chat has it? Ears stretched. Oh, might need to do a little research into how to make these fit my ears. Oh, well, Danger, you've got some glue in here. So if you can get, you know, the stretched, some of the kind of earplugs, you know, well, you probably know what they're called, that fit your holes, you could always glue the polymer to one of those, I guess. But does anyone else have stretched earlobe and could give some advice on that? Right, we're going to go for it. Let's open this box. What do we have here? Quite proud of myself. That was not too much fannying around to start with. I'm normally pretty bad at fannying around. A craft knife would probably be better than pliers, wouldn't it, to open this? Right, so open your box. What do we have in here? Yes, Danger. We've practiced this creativity over the last few months, haven't we? We're nearly there. We are getting to the point where we are, well, we're making it a part of our everyday lives. Have you noticed, though? I mean, I've always been quite a creative person, but I've noticed, and I know that other people have said the same thing, that they've found that they can fix certain problems with some of the skills that we've learned doing these projects. I had someone that broke something, a brooch, I think it was, and they were like, oh, Kintsugi could do that. And like, how cool is that? We've got all these extra skills that we now know how to craft things. And it's so good because if you just feel, I don't know, I feel like it gives you a bit more freedom and a bit more creativity. So, right, I'm going to get on. So what we have in our boxes, we have some polymer clay. You can buy this. There's different brands. So if you really enjoy this, it's quite easy to get hold of some more of this polymer clay. Just checking that nobody's saying anything. So we've got white, we've got this like mustardy color, we've got an off-white kind of slightly pinky color, but that does go darker, I've found, in the oven. So be a bit aware of that. And we've got a navy blue. We have in this little bag is our gold leaf, and this is really lovely to work with. We have two cutters, two circular cutters. These are our depth guides. Okay, so I'll show you how to use these in a bit. This is our rolling pin. And in our other little bag, we have some sandpaper for just smoothing out the edges once it's done. But we want to be making them as smooth as we possibly can, so we don't need to use this too much. Do the work beforehand, before we cook it. You've got these lovely little things. So if you want to sell your earrings or gift them, you've got these little earring cards. Let me empty this out. It's probably going to be easier. We've got a cocktail stick. Just helps with some, you know, moving the gold leaf around and putting holes through things. We've got all of our fastenings, our hoops, I can't remember what those little jump rings. Sorry, my brain's gone. We've got a few different types of earring fasteners, and we've got a perfect tiny super glue. So that's good. And as soon as you put the lid on, it marks that seal. So we're all good to go. Right. So I don't know which ones you would like to learn how to make first. Maybe we should start with, should we start with these little ones? Because this or maybe even just a single button one, because this would be good for us to, no, let's go for, I know what we're going to do. Probably should have thought about this before. My name is Kate. Hello, Finn. Right, so what we're going to do first, we are going to condition our clay. You don't have to follow this exactly. I really want you to use your creativity in this and make the earrings that you would like to make. Make the earrings that you know your friend would like for Christmas, okay? So I'm showing you these techniques, but feel free to use different colors. Feel free to do your own design. If you want to go off piece and do whatever you want, that's absolutely fine. I'm all up for that. But I'm going to show you roughly how to make some of the polymer clay earrings, okay? And then we'll all make them together, but you do your thing. Right, so I'm going to start with a lighter color first. I think, what am I going to use first? I think because the white and the, I'm going to go for the white and mustard, and I'm going to make some little button earrings just with this small cutter to start, okay? Finn, how much are the boxes? So I sell a craft, and every month I teach people how to make a different craft. Do I know you, Finn? Are you my daughter's friend, Finn? So first though, I'm going to teach you how to condition your clay. I'm going to get out the white because when we're working with a couple of different colors, I would start with the lightest color and then go darker. So this is a brand new cutting board. I got it today. Thought I'd get a pink and purple one. Go for the Curious Octopus themed colors. I'm going to cut off just a little bit, maybe just a corner of my clay. So I have about that much. Can you see that? And what we're going to do, this clay will be quite hard and sometimes a bit crumbly at this point. Yeah. And what we need to do, there's going to be a lot of chatting and a lot of conditioning. So if you're using a craft knife, make sure you put it in a safe place so you don't stab yourself with it. It's very easy to do. I am going to use a bit of baking paper. If you have baking paper, I would recommend using it at this point, because when you want to move your, let's put it that way. When you want to move it off there, if your clay is stuck to a hard surface, you're going to peel it off and bend it, and you want it to stay as flat as possible. So with this, you can kind of pick this up and peel it away from the clay. So if you've got warm hands, that works really well. What we're basically going to do is manipulate, mold, knead this bit of polymer clay until it is nice and supple and basically like blue tack, okay? So if you can feel it at first, it's quite hard. If you struggle with your fingers, you can use your rolling pin a little bit. That does help if you're using bigger pieces. You can kind of roll it a few times but you have to remember as well, the heat of your hands is really going to help here. So, I mean, I've got Reynard, so I've always got very cold hands and feet. But if you want to just give it a bit of a start, roll it out, curl it up. It'll be a bit crumbly at first, but keep rolling it out and squidging it together. Roll and squidge, roll and squidge. Hello, Charlotte, again. And again, make sure you have nice, clean hands. Wow, 634 likes already. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with the viewers. Hello. It says 6, 4, and 6. So I don't know if that means 10 people are watching or 16 people are watching, or I don't really know. But we are conditioning. We are conditioning our polymer clay so that it's turning into a nice supple Play-Doh, plasticine, blue tack type consistency. So the heat and the manipulation will really help. So if you have free fingers and you're not manipulating clay, please feel free to send loads of likes on the TikToks. It helps to share the wow, thanks, Finn. Was that you? Oh, and you're the #1 gifter. Thank you very much, Finn. How are you doing, Finn? I've had some funny moments with people fighting to be the #1 gifter on on TikTok. It's quite fun. I mean, it works for me. I'm happy with it. So, oh, good. I'm good. You're good. So it's getting softer, squidgier, and easier to manipulate. So good with that. So, but this is white, and so what we want to do is make sure that we do not get any other colors on this. You shall be the #1, Finn. I think you are. Right, cool. So we've got that. We can roll it up. This will probably remind you of plasticine when you were a kid, but I mean, when was the last time you played with plasticine? It's nice, isn't it? Right, so that's my white. I'm going to wash my hands. Oh, a tea towel would be handy, wouldn't it? 1 secondo. After washing, you need to dry. Right, so I'm going to wash my hands. Oh, it's very hot. Doesn't matter too much when you're going from a lighter colour to a darker colour, but yeah, if we're going from darker to lighter, I think what we're going to do here is maybe do a bit of a marbling effect, do you think? So I'm going to get the next colour, which is going to be my mustard colour. And I'm going to do the same thing, probably with about the same amount of clay. And again, we're going to condition this. And then suddenly it feels really hard. Oh, stop it, became the #6 in the fan club. Thank you very much for my heart. Right, we're conditioning. It's like a finger workout. And a rose. Wow. Feeling the love today. And 3.1 thousand likes already. Thank you very much, everybody. It's not bad for 20 minutes. You find with the smaller pieces, you can condition it quite a lot quicker than the bigger pieces. Does anyone else's brain just shut down mid-sentence? That's so wonderful. Oh, wow, I've got a you're awesome. I've got a white rose and I've got a capybara. Thank you very much. What does the numbers mean before? Number one, number 4. Don't know what that means. But, you know, it's helping to spread the love and spread the word and get more people involved. And if you have a craft project, if you've just kind of popped along and haven't seen me before, I run an online craft night every month, once a month. It's just a couple of hours once a month. I send out a craft kit. But if you don't want to buy a craft kit, you can just join and do whatever creative project you've got on the go. So if you've got some knitting that you've been meaning to get on with, if you're anything like me, I've got so many craft projects that I've been meaning to finish. I've got a zebra over there with some diamonds stuck to it. She's looking pretty good. It's called Zebby Deborah. Right. I reckon that is nearly conditioned. I'm going to go just for the white and the mustard and maybe a little bit of blue, I think, with this one. I am going to make them like those little ones. I love the idea of kind of going with the flow and being creative, but I need to remember that I'm just going to make what we've made because that was the point of making them before. Oh, Finn, you're crocheting a hat. Amazing. Is that for you to wear? Right. I'm going to wash my hands again. Is it for you or is it for someone else? Have you crocheted a hat before? That's really cool, Finn. Jemima's been trying to learn how to crochet, so maybe you could give her some... and yeah, I do it a lot. Oh, that's good. Yeah, she's been trying to learn how to do that. So maybe you could give her a little bit of help. Right, clean hands again, and I'm going for the blue this time. I made an awesome fox a couple of days ago. Wicked. Sign language love, thank you. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of blue. I'm just going to, I'm only going to do a little bit of blue because I think because it's quite a strong colour, I'm going to do a smaller amount of blue because also I want to leave a big amount of blue to make some earrings like this. Okay, we're conditioning the blue. What is everybody doing? Are you following me exactly or are you doing your own thing? I mean, at the moment, we're just conditioning, so we're probably all just conditioning clay for the minute. All right. Oh, thanks for the likes, Lottie. How has everyone been? Is anyone doing anything else that's creative this evening? Have you done something creative this week, this month, this year? So you'll notice when you are doing the blue, I don't know if you can see there, but my fingers have gone a little bit darker. So that doesn't look a lot here. If you then start working with the white, you're going to transfer that color. So you do need to be really careful. Lottie's going to be the #1 gifter. And Finn's going to get mad. Right. Thank you very much. Oh, it slipped out of my hand. You've got to be careful as well that none of it gets under your nails. and clean between my nails. That's going to be annoying. My oven's nearly to temperature. Okay, right, I reckon that's conditioned enough as well. So I have 3 colours. Where's my other colour? Oh, there. Of varying sizes. What I'm going to do now is wash my hands again. You will be washing your hands quite a few times. Just make sure you've got all that blue off your hands. Again, we're starting from the lighter colours, moving to the darker one. So I'm going to cut each one of these balls in half. So I'm going to start, make sure your knife is clean, craft knife or kitchen knife, whatever. I'm going to cut my white into half. And then I think I'm going to cut it into half again. So cut your white into 4 pieces. Okay. Give your knife a little wipe. I'm going to cut the yellow into 2 pieces. Give it a wipe again. And then I'm going to cut the blue into 2 pieces. Right. So if you separate these, I'm going to have, so for each earring, I'm going to have 2 pieces of white, 2 pieces of orange, 2 pieces of white, 1 piece of the yellowy mustard and 1 piece of the dark blue. Each one of these you can manipulate again and roll into a little sausage. You can do this actually if you roll it into a ball first, and then to get the depth, we're not going to use these to get to the depth, but we are going to just roll it a little bit with this. If you roll back and forth, you can get quite an even tube. Okay. So I'm going to roll it to about, what's that, about 2 mil thick, maybe? Going again with the other white one. I'm going to do all of the white ones first. Roll it back and forth with our depth guides. You might want to hold the stuck to my depth guide. Doesn't really matter if it's not exactly the same. Is everybody okay? Wow, 7,000 likes. Man, thank you very much. All right, rolling it into a ball. Depth guide to roll it into a sausage. Oh, that one's a little bit thicker one end than the other. But again, don't get too obsessed with making it perfect. Like, you want them to, oh my goodness, 8. How are you guys making the lights go up so quickly? These are handmade. You want them to look handmade. Like, how lovely is it to have something that looks like a human's made it? I must get you to 10K. Thanks, Finn. How are you doing that and crocheting? It's very, very talented. Okay, have another white sausage. Right. I'm going to give this a little wipe. You can't really see anything on it. Give my hands a little clean. I lost the pom-pom for the top. Oh no, you'll have to make another one. Did you make it or did you buy it? The pom-pom. Is it a furry one or is it a woolen one? Okay, we're going for the yellow next. I've just wiped my hands on my jumper. Exactly. Oh, hello, Jemima. Gosh dang. Jemima, there's some liking going on here. Oh, a furry one. Oh, will you find it? I'm sure it's somewhere in your room, Finn. Right. I'm rolling this into a ball again. You might find sometimes that it goes a little bit harder again. So it just needs a bit more conditioning. That's fine. If it feels like blue tack, then generally you're all right. If it feels a bit harder, it might need a little bit more squidging. Right, there's a sausage. Getting our sausages. Yeah, mustard colour's gone a bit more. Right. Finn must click faster. You're still number one, Finn, don't worry. But the girls, I think, are catching you up. Okay. So yeah, if you've just joined us and you want to learn a new craft every month, we are learning Polymer Clay Earrings tonight. We've learnt a whole host of new crafts, haven't we, guys? Who's been with me since, well, for a long time. Oh, there we go. Just touched the blue. Didn't mean to. Haven't washed my hands. Wash your hands, which wouldn't matter too much. But if you just need to be in the habit of doing it. And also the benefit is my hands are always so cold. I've got really warm water there. And so that's probably helping with the conditioning, because the warmth helps as well as the manipulation. So yeah, we have been learning lots of different types of crafts. I think Diane and Charlotte are my oldest, most loyal customers. And what have we made? We've made, you guys might need to help me, we've made lampshades, we've done mosaics, we've done lino cut prints, we've done glass resin flowers, we've done mandala painting, we've done, oh yeah, you don't want to roll it with the writing side down because it prints onto the polymer clay. We have done, what else have we done? I didn't call you old, Diane. Yeah, oh my goodness, 11,000. How did you get to that? I always say that about my oldest friend because I've known her since I was 4, but she's the same age as me. What have we made? We've done glass painting. We've done macrame, wall hangings. We've done Halloween wreaths. We've done I'll have it up next time actually. We've done a Christmas felt garland. What else have we made? We've made loads of things, haven't we? We've had a lovely time. Sometimes got it all up here. Mosaics. I mean, and next month, well, now I suppose I have been doing this for a year. This is I think this is my 12th box. So it's just amazing that this time last year I was kind of festering away on my laptop trying to set all of this up, and now here we are, and we've learned so many different types of craft, and I've absolutely loved it all. I really, really have. I've learned so much myself. I mean, because I can't know all of this already. I do a lot of research before I do each of the boxes, and I've learned so much stuff. Oh, Kinusaiga and Kintsugi, the Japanese art forms, we've done those. Yeah, I've really loved it. I hope you guys have too, and I hope that if anybody wants to join, they are very, very welcome. I love our little crafting community. I love that people share what they have been making. And you know, it's so good for people. It's so good for you, for your mental health, for your well-being, just to switch off from the rest of your life to do something. And the reason why I do these craft nights is because I have had so many craft kits given to me over the years. I still have things in my cupboards to make, you know, those beeswax food wraps and to make candles and to make all these lovely things. And what a lovely idea. But I don't put aside the time to do it. And that's why I've done this, because I don't put aside the time. So I think, well, why else would anybody else? Danger. I'm just planning out my earring designs. How many pairs can the box make? I think it's 6, 4. Right, I've made 4. And I'm sure there was 2. Yeah, there was the dangly ones and maybe 2 more pairs of studs left. So I think 4, 5, 6. 6 or 7 maybe. But yeah. Right, I am going to now put these together. I'm going to do white, mustard. I'm going to put them close together so that they just about touch. Blue. And then white. And I'm going to do the same on the other one, but I'm going to do it the other way around. So I'm going to do white, and then I'm going to build it in the same order, but backwards, if you know what I mean. So I'm going backwards. Do you know what? I think this is quite a nice. These would look quite nice as earrings anyway, I think, if you just had them like this. But I am going to stick to the original plan and roll it out and cut it. So I want to show you the cutters. Right, so I've stuck them together. I can pick these up on my board. Okay, I've got my sausages stuck next to each other. And what I'm going to do is use my depth guides. 7 on the box, yeah. I can only find the hoops and the danglies, hoping the studs are hiding somewhere under the paper. You should have a little bag that looks like this, that has all of these things in it, because in there are, I think it must be 4 or 5. Hang on, let me we'll get it out. You might have 4 or 5 pairs of these, which you will glue on and make them into earrings. See what I mean? So the polymer, so you'll have the hoops, you'll have the dangly bits, and then you've got, it must be 5 of those studs. So then you can make these with the studs, because effectively that top bit's a stud, and then you put the ring between the bits. Right. I think I'm going to, what am I going to do? Right, I'm going to bend this a little bit. So I'm going to curve it around a bit like a rainbow or something, because I want this to be, I want the colours to kind of not be too, oops, too uniform. So if that one curls that way, this one curls this way, just curve it in a little bit and then stick it down to the paper. Right, now I'm going to use my guides and put them either side of the earrings. Right, hang on, I'm going to move this one because it's going to get in the way and I'm going to squidge it too soon. Right, I'm going to put my depth guides on either side of my sausages and I'm just going to roll it very gently so they all stick together a little bit. And you've got the lines of colour. And then I'm going to move my depth guides over to the other piece and do the same thing over here. And these depth guides, just make sure that you don't roll them too thin, but also that you don't roll them so that they're flatter one end and thicker the other. I quite like, well, I've done one of them fatter than the other. So this one, I'm going to squish up a bit more so it's a bit thicker. The good thing about it is that you can just keep kind of playing with it until you're happy with it. I'm putting my depth guides over and then rolling them again because I want to have each of these colours blending, well, not blending, but stuck to each other. I might be able to turn that one over. Yeah, nice. So if you want to roll it slightly more, you absolutely can. Just be aware of your depth guides. Right, so what we should have is 2 pieces of polymer clay, and I'm going to use the smaller cutter to cut out some circles. Are we all ready? Is that, can you see it well enough there? Because the writing's in the way, isn't it? Right, so I'm just going to cut around, do one circle. Make sure when you look through the circle, there is polymer clay in the whole of the circle. You don't want to miss out a little corner. So just position it on top. Make sure you're happy with the placement. I want a bit of white on each side and I want that colour going through. And then I'm going to push down and then remove. So if it sticks in there, you can just push it through. Try and use your finger with less nails because you can dent it with your nail. Okay, I've got one there and I'm going to do the same with the other side. Okay, so here we have 2 buttons. With the excess, keep this. We can use it a bit later if we want to do a marble effect. You can use this again and again. Obviously, you can mix it up. It will make, I imagine, a brownie kind of colour. If you want to, if you've got some of the edges that are a little bit uneven, you can either push them in with your finger, give them a little gentle roll around, and that will help you to save a bit of time later with your, give them a very gentle roll, but you don't want to be manipulating the shape too much. You just want to be getting rid of those little edges at the bottom. Okay. Very, very gently. Okay, and here we have 2 earrings, slightly stripy earrings. Okay, if you want to, at this point, you can add some gold leaf. Should we do that? Look at 17,000 likes. How have you done that so quickly? Oh my goodness. Right, I'm going to get the gold leaf out for 2 reasons. One, I want to use some gold leaf, an obvious reason. And 2, I want to use this bag for my excess clay. Okay. I don't want it to dry out completely, and I might want to use it later. I'm not going to squidge it together. I'm just going to put it in there. It says 20k on yours. It doesn't yet for me, but I assume it will update itself in a minute. Thanks. Wow. Right, there's a bit of a bit of gold leaf in there. Right, I'm going to get a little bit of gold leaf. If you open this very gently. So this gold leaf, I suppose it's copper leaf. It is very, very, not even paper thin, like super, super thin bits of copper leaf. So it can be quite difficult to manipulate. You have got a cocktail stick. If you've got anything else you want to use as well, your craft knife. If you did the mandala, thing box with me a couple of months ago, you might have one of these. I found they are quite handy to use with this. But whatever you find is the best thing to use. And this stuff is so thin, it literally just sticks to the polymer clay. And then when you bake it, it goes a bit more of a rich color. So I don't know if you can see the difference here. You've got, I don't know if you can see the difference here. This and the color, it's kind of almost got a pinky tint to it when it's cooked. You see that? Hang on, let me use my hand behind it. You see, on certain bits, it's almost got a little bit of a pinky tinge. It's quite hard to show you on the YouTube feed. So I'm just going to add, like I have with these ones, just a little sliver of gold leaf. Okay, and copper leaf. So all you do is you use your cocktail stick and whatever else you want, and you can just almost drag it away from itself and rip it a little bit. It's so thin that it will rip quite easily, and you can kind of just push away the bits that you don't want. But I'm going to get a bit of an irregular shape and just lie it on my polymer clay, and then you just push it down either with your finger or with one of your tools, and it just gives a nice little shine, and it will stick without any glue or anything like that. Ooh. Okay, looks like I'm going for that bit. I love that you don't really get to control this copper leaf. It kind of does what it wants. Ooh. Get a little bit more. It will only stick the once, so if you can't really layer it, it will just warn you of that. So it will stick anything that is in contact with the polymer clay, it will stick to. But if you're putting layers on, it's not going to stick. Maybe a little bit more on the first one. And yeah, if you don't want to, if you want to wait until you've made all of your earrings and cook them all together, you can. There's no time limit on it. Right. Okay. I think there's a bit left on there. Where should I put that? Maybe there. Completely different shapes of the gold leaf. It's quite hard to not go over the top with it because it's such a lovely thing to add. I love it. Maybe a bit there. Okay, right, that's gonna do for now. Right, we have, oh, hang on, TikTok's getting excited. Don't end my live. Oh, unable to verify. I'm not. Okay, I'm still on, I think. Hello. Right, so I have 2 earrings with a gold leaf attached. Can you see them? I think you can. Right, I'm going to move those aside. What you can do is just rip off the paper around them so that you keep them on the paper. You don't have to mess around with them too much. I'm not going to reuse that paper, but it's just so that it's easier to put on the tray alongside the other ones. Right, is everybody happy with that? Should we make something a little bit more taxing? So we've got these. Okay, right, where's my tray? Oh, no. Shall we make something that looks like this, or would you like to make the ones like this? Let me know which ones you'd like to make next, or these ones. I reckon the first person to comment gets to decide what you'd like to learn. 20,000 likes. Thank you very, very much, everybody. I really appreciate it. The ones I'm wearing. Cool. Yes, thank you very much. Right, okay, we're going to use the dark blue for this one. Again, you do you. I'm going to teach you this style of how to make them. We're going to do a little rainbow and we're going to do the circle for the top again. You can do whatever colors you like. So if you want to do the different colors, you can do that. I'm going to do dark blue. Right, so all we need for these is one solid color for the circle at the top, and we're going to add gold leaf, and then we're going to do the whole solid color for the rainbow at the bottom as well. Right, we're going to need quite a lot of blue clay for this, and actually maybe we'll do the bottom bit first rather than the button, because whatever we've got left over we can use for the top bit. Make an Etsy and put some earrings on there. I know what I would love to. Oh, stop, its favourite colour is pink, bright pink. I'm sorry, we don't have any pink. But I could definitely get some. I could make you some if you want. Right. I'm going to use probably about half the block of dark blue, which is going to be a little bit more taxing to condition. My hands are a bit warmer now, so hopefully it won't take too much longer, but you can feel it as soon as you start trying to manipulate it. It's quite hard. Ugh. I've definitely got some arthritis coming in my fingers, I think. Rubbish. 20,000 likes, guys. Thank you so much. Ugh. It's like stress relief, isn't it? Makes you make silly faces. Hope everybody's getting on all right. 21,000 likes. You guys are crazy, crazy. Right, it is softening a little bit, so that's good. Oh. We are softening. We are conditioning. Do you feel more conditioned? It's getting there. It's not quite plasticine and like blue tack consistency just yet, but it's definitely getting there. I think this dyes my fingers more than my hair dye does. Anyone that isn't making polymer clay earrings, what are you doing that's creative or positive today? Don't you just love it when I ask that annoying question? Have you been doing anything creative? What was the last thing you did that was creative? Have you been drawing? Have you been painting? Have you been singing? Have you written a letter recently? I think people, I love writing a letter. I love writing, actually. I don't do it enough. I went through a phase where I was journaling a lot. And I got a really lovely fountain pen, which I don't know where it is. And a really lovely journal. And was you're right there, Charlotte, Sister Charlotte. Keep joining and leaving. Have you got problems with your internet? Oh, Charlotte got the #2 gifter badge. Well done. What was I saying? Can't remember. Yeah, writing. I used to really like journaling. If you can get it into your morning routine or your daily routine, I know it sounds like one of those great things that you should do, and it's not in my routine at the moment, but when I was doing it, it was really, really helpful. Thanks for the rose. Okay, I reckon I'm conditioned enough. I'm in good enough condition. Right, I'm going to roll it out into a circle. Oh, actually, I forgot. I forgot how I made these, even though I did these ones, I think, yesterday. We only need to do this once. Oh, no, we don't. Yeah, we need a second one. No, sorry, my brain is whirring. Right, we've got our ball. You can push it down a little bit with your thumb in 2 different directions so that we don't want it to stick to the paper, but we want it to start forming a circle. Don't go thinner than your depth guides. You want your depth guides on each side. And then we're going to start rolling, but don't just roll quickly in one direction because you're going to make it into an oval. So we don't want that. Do it one way, turn it around a little bit, do it the other way. We don't want it to go too far. It needs to be as big as this. It's not quite there. It needs to be as big as that in every direction. So keep turning it around. When you see one of the sides is a little bit narrower than the other, turn it around a bit. Keep rolling until it's flat. We're getting there, we're getting there. Is everybody okay? Is everyone enjoying themselves? And once you get to the depth that you're going to do, try and do long rolls over it rather than halfway because you'll leave a little dent. Okay, I reckon we're there. If it's not quite big enough, you might need to add some more, condition it until it's ready. But I think we're good to go with that. Right, so we're going to cut it exactly the same as we did with the other one. Sit it down onto your polymer clay. Make sure that you've got a little bit of clay all the way around the outside. You need to move it up that way a little bit. Okay, I think we're good. And then we push down, cut it. You can twist it a little bit if you want to. It helps to cut through. And then remove the outer piece. Now, because this isn't mixed with anything else, we can keep this to go back in the blue bag or to use in a minute. You don't need to add it to your kind of misc bag because this is for the mixed stuff. Right. Now we have this. We don't want it to stick too much, but what we want to do is now take a circle out of the middle, and that will create one of our top things. But you're going to need to be really careful with this. It's quite hard sometimes when I've got a directional light here. I mean, it is ring light, but it's giving me light all from this direction. So be a bit careful because you've got shadows on this side. So if you can try and put the cutter as central as you possibly can. Look around it and make sure that you can just gently place it down as centrally as you possibly can. Okay. I think that's it. And then we're going to cut, okay? So we're creating a bit of a donut. And then when we take that out, is it going to be stuck in there? Yeah, exactly what I didn't want it to. That's fun, but that's fine. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to cut so mine is stuck. If your middle bit has come out, great. I might be able to make it come out actually. It should probably be easier. I'll twist it a little bit more. Hopefully it'll lift out. No, it didn't. That's good. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut part of the outer donut in half. So I'm going to do one cut. Make sure you position your blade so the end of it is pointing to the center of the middle of the middle ring. Try and be quite precise with that. Do a cut straight down. Don't pull it back and forwards, just do a cut straight down. And then another cut exactly on the other side. Try and make sure the angle is exactly the same and cut straight down. So what we have now is we have the two semicircle like rainbow shapes, and we've got one of the top things. So what we should be able to do now is peel these off here. Please come off. Might be able to use the knife a little bit. But we really want to try not to. I think what I've done is I've used the wrong side of the. Is there a wrong side of baking paper? Feels like it's sticking more than it did before, and I think it's because I put it around the other side, the other way. Silly me. You live and learn, don't you? Oh, it's really sticking. Oh, wow. I've got 23 likes. 23,000 likes. Thank you very much, Finn. This is when you're going to tell me it's at 30,000 now, isn't it? Oh, yeah. I think I've done this on the wrong. Right. I think I'm going to have to start again because it's completely stuck. And I think that's my fault. Right. I'm going again. If you guys aren't silly, you will have not turned your baking paper over. Yeah, that's what I've done. 36,000 likes. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Finn. What a legend. Right, I'm going to do that again. At least you'll get to see it again. You guys have probably done a much better job than I have today. Right, there we go. Let's do it again, shall we? Oh, I better put that extra bit back in. Otherwise, it's not going to be wide enough, big enough, is it? Hi, Anna. It's just updated to 26.9 thousand. So if you think it's 36.2 thousand, that is crazy. Thank you very much. I think what I'm going to do in a minute is actually I'm going to put those earrings in so that I can show you. I've got enough time for them to cool and show you how to put the backs on. Let me just go and put them in because they need to go in for half an hour. So if you want to put your first lot in, you're very welcome. Right, I'm going to wash my hands again. How you doing? Right. So clean hands, conditioning. I'm drinking some water as well. Right. Hopefully we'll have a bit of a better success rate with this one this time. Who's that that's joined? A whale? Is that an acorn or a ball of wool or something? And a beach. Hello, welcome to the Curious Octopus Craft Night. Okay, hopefully we'll have better luck with this one. And I will be able to also just go through roughly how I did these ones with you. So with those dangly ones, they are actually just eyeballed the different the shapes. I haven't used a cutter with those. I rolled into a ball, I squished down with my thumb and rolled out a little bit. I put gold leaf on the bottom half, and then I made some very, very thin sausages with the dark blue, cut tiny sections off those sausages and then push them into these shapes and then rolled on top of them. So that was all just done freehand. And then with these ones, again, you can see that I've got the standard stud shape on the top. Oh, I'll show you how to put the holes in them. And the bottom one, I've done a bigger circle, and then I've got I've got a blob of dark blue, a blob of white, put them on top of each other and just rolled over the top, and it's just smudged all those colors together to create that effect, and then added some gold leaf on top. Right, so let's try this again. I'm going to try and make sure it doesn't stick to the... It does seem to be sticking less, which is good. Right, I'm going to use my depth guides again. Okay, hopefully this will come off easier. I might take it off now before I cut, to just make sure. What you can do very often as well is kind of manipulate the paper off the shape rather than the shape off the paper, if you know what I mean. It's sticking a little bit, but there we go. Okay, it needs to be flat. And you cut the outer shape, I think what I might do is take it off at every stage. So cut the outer shape. Oh, there we go. It came off easier that time. I'll push it out of the cutter, avoiding my nails. Okay, now I want this smaller cutter to cut a circle in the middle. Just eyeball the shape a little bit. Hello, other Charlotte. There's a lot of Charlottes on this feed. We have Charlotte from Fleur Boutique on the live. And Charlotte from Fleur Boutique, I don't know if any of you remember, was our expert with the glass resin flowers. Hiya, how you doing? Oh, what did you give me? Oh, you got a gifter badge. Right, we have one of the buttons. Roll that round. You can roll it in your fingers, or you can roll it very gently across the surface to get rid of those bottom marks from the cutter, or you can leave them. Charlotte is a lovely name, isn't it? All the best people, apparently. Many of the best people in my life, I reckon. What is this? Charlotte Appreciation Day. And we've got a Lottie, very close. 3 Charlottes and a Lottie. Right, I'm going to go around this one and try and get rid of some of these edges, smooth out these edges without changing the shape of the donut too much. But like I said, we can smooth that out with sandpaper afterwards. 3 Charlottes and a Lottie. That's a band's name, isn't it? Right, my donut's looking a bit better now. Okay, I'm going to do the same again then. I'm going to cut through one side with my cutter, my knife. Did I set an alarm? Don't think I did. What time did I put it in? I think it was 10:02. At 1:45 or 10:02. I'll take it out at 1:15. And then I'm cutting through from the other side. Again, you want these to be as even as possible, but people aren't actually looking at both of them exactly at the same time. They're normally looking at one or the other, so don't worry about it. We want them to look handmade. Okay, I now have 2 blue semicircles and 1 button. If you want to, once this is cut, you can then manipulate very gently and very carefully the inside of that rainbow so that you smooth out those inside edges as well. Be very, very careful. Okay, and we have 1 button there as well. So I am now going to get a little bit more blue. I've still got this little bit of blue, but all I want is enough to do 1 of the smaller buttons. Is everybody okay? 3 Charlottes, a Lottie and a mother-in-law. And an eye roll. I haven't used any of that, the kind of, what colour would you call that? Peachy colour. And that peachy colour does go a bit darker in the oven, so just be aware of that as well. Right. I'm going to pick up these little pieces with my polymer clay. And we're going to do the same thing again. We are going to condition our polymer clay. Mine still says 27.1 thousand likes, and about half an hour ago, I think, Finn reckons it was 36,000. So well done, guys, everybody who are liking the live. Thank you very much. Thanks. I can see that it says 27,000. I don't know what you guys can see. You see what I see. I think maybe the person who's liking, maybe, because Finn said it was on 36. Crazy. But I mean, I'm very grateful for 27,000. That's wild. That's a lot of finger poking. Okay, so I'm going to have a little yawn. Been a long day. Right, I'm going to roll this into a ball, push it down again like we did the other one. If you want to get creative and not roll it out and, you know, build something with this, I would be a bit careful. Try and make your pieces reasonably flat. If you're going to be hand building, I mean, do whatever you want, but you don't want these pieces of polymer clay to be too thick because they won't cook all the way through. Right, I'm going to push it down with my thumb. Are you going to Glastonbury Frost Fair? I don't think I am. When is it? I know the carnival's on this Saturday, isn't it? I've managed to avoid carnival and Halloween this year. I feel like as much as I love doing it with my kids, it's been nice to not have to go out in the rain and all of that. We did bonfire night. We went up a hill, had a lovely time. But yeah, when's the Frost Fair? 29th, maybe. Yeah, I quite enjoy it. It's quite nice, isn't it, to go and get a mulled wine and watch the wizards go by. Right, I'm going to cut another button. Well, despite me trying not to push to get my fingernails on it, I've got my fingernails on both of those. Well done, Kate. Oh, you're trading. Oh, blow the button out if it gets stuck. That's a good idea. Has anyone tried that yet? Good idea. If it gets stuck, blow it out. Okay. I'm trying to pat out those little nail marks. Right, now what we want to do is make some holes for the jump rings. Because if we cook them now and we don't have holes for the jump rings, we can't secure these two together. I'm going to put that the blue leftovers back in my little blue bag. Take the air out so it doesn't dry out. Right. I'm going to use my cocktail stick to make my holes. If you look at these jump rings, excuse me, there's little kind of copper jump rings here. If you look at how wide they are, you need to be able to get both of the sides of the polymer clay into that. So the hole needs to be a very small distance, at least half of the width of that away from the top of the clay. Otherwise, they're not going to sit and dangle properly. So what we want to do is do a little hole at the top or the bottom, just near the edge of one of these buttons. The polymer clay, as any clay does, will shrink a very small amount, but about 15%. I don't know if you can see the difference. Maybe you can't with that. So there will be a little bit of shrinkage. So the hole needs to be wider than your jump ring, very slightly, and close to the edge. Not too close that it'll break. So what I normally do is pick it up, push it as far through as you can, and then put 2 nails on each side and keep pushing the polymer clay until you can get your cocktail stick to the thickest point. Keep twisting it and then very gently twist it to pull it out so that you're not changing the shape of the thing too much, but you will get a slight change of shape, and you can just, or you can leave it as a slight teardrop, or you can just pinch it slightly back into the circle, but without closing that hole. Okay. Oops. So I'm going to pat down there where the nail marks are, but also don't forget I'm going to be adding gold leaf to this, so you can hide a multitude of sins. You know, it's that old adage. You can't polish a turd, but you can roll it in glitter. Seems like my whole life has been a bit of a turd. Okay, can you see that? I don't ever know how to do that. There's not enough light on that, is there? Can you see that? There we go. Okay, so we have one circle with a hole in it. I'm going to do the same again on this one, quite close, like a millimetre or 2 from the edge, maybe. Again, pick it up with the cocktail stick. I'm going to do, if I do it there, you should both be able to see it. So it's sticking through just a tiny bit. I'm going to kind of hold the edge and keep twisting it very gently, so I'm not putting too much pressure on the shape until it goes all the way through. And then you can keep kind of manipulating it to get it back into a circle whilst also not closing that hole. And again, don't worry too much if it's not perfect. They are handmade, and whoever wears them are going to know they're handmade, and they're going to love that, whether it's you or whoever you gift these to. Right, I had slightly patted down the other shape, the inside of the other shape, but I hadn't done this one, so now I have. Right, again, we're going to eyeball roughly where the center of the rainbow is. Now mine, I've actually, it is a little bit off kilter, and I've cut the hole not quite central, so I've got one side that is slightly wider than the other. It shouldn't matter too much. You're not going to really, no one's going to have a spirit level to your earrings. I wouldn't worry about it. Again, go for roughly the top with a little bit of a lip. Twist it a bit whilst the shape is on the mat, and then again we are going to push through until it starts twisting around, and then you can hold the shape and twist very, very carefully, twist the cocktail stick. You don't want that hole to go all the way through. When it's cooked, this polymer clay is quite tough, so it shouldn't break, but just be a bit careful. Okay, we're doing it again. roughly at the top of the other one. What is the time? I'm going to get that out in about 10 minutes. There's still some edges that I want to pat down up there. Right, now when we're done with that, we are ready to gold leaf. So I'm going to put these roughly where they're going to go, so I can have a rough idea. Actually, I'm going to give it a bit of space because I don't want to get the gold leaf on the bits that I don't want it on, if you know what I mean. Right, I'm going to have the holes at the bottom of the circles, and we've got the rainbows at the bottom. Right, I mean the holes of the top bits at the bottom, and then the rainbows, the holes are at the top. Right, I'm going to wash my hands because I've got blue fingers. Is everybody okay? Give me a little wave or a like if you are okay. All right. Thanks, Lottie. Right, let's get our gold leaf and get gold leafing. So with these ones, what I did was for the top circles, I've got myself a piece of gold leaf with a flat edge. You can use your knife to try and get that. I mean, you will be able to get a flat edge because you've got the edge of the gold leaf. So let's see if we can rip off a bit of this. Right. And I quite like a rough edge, a messy edge. So that edge, I've got two edges here, two straight edges. One of them is quite neat and the other one's a bit more wobbly wibbly. And I'm going to go for the wobbly wibbly because I quite like that effect. You can use your fingers or you can use your tools, whatever you want to do. But you just lie it down roughly across half of the circle. Okay. And then you can use your cocktail stick or whatever tool you have to kind of tap it in place. And then you can just use your fingers if you want to push it all down. And where the hole is, use your cocktail stick to just poke a hole just right in the middle. And then when you push it down with your finger or with your tool, you should be able to push some of that gold leaf into the hole just to tidy it up. Then with the edges, you can just rip them off, or if you use one tool to hold the edge down and then the other edge you can rip off the excess. Okay, I'm going to pick this up now and then push down so you've got some rough bits of gold leaf. I'm just going to poke them down with my finger and it sticks quite easily, very nicely around the edge. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, if you want to have a bit more of a perfect line, that's absolutely fine. You carry on, you go ahead, you do this the way you want it to look. And then I'm going to go and get another roughly straight line, but not really. Love it. Both of mine slightly curve upwards and I really like it. Right, with the little bits of excess, you can rip them off. Stick the rest down, and that's the top buttons done. Push it down in the holes a bit more. Okay, and with the bottom ones, again, we're going to get lots of smaller pieces of gold leaf for this. Is everyone okay? Oh, we missed what you are doing with the gold leaf. Is it like half the horizon? Yes, it is. So you get a piece of gold leaf. You can kind of just rip it off with your craft knife or with your cocktail stick. Or if you have one of these from the mandala kit, anything like that you can use, or whatever you want really. And I quite like not having a completely flat shape, flat line. I quite like a slightly rough line. You see that? But it's completely up to you. I will take some better pictures and show you when the live is done. So for the bottom bit, and basically you get it, you just stick it on and it will stick to the polymer clay quite easily on its own, and then when it's cooked on, it will stay. But also, once it is cooked, you can cover it in a clear nail varnish if you want. I'm going to go and get the other ones out of the oven. Give me a sec. Ah, yeah, they look lovely. So, can you see them? They're all cooked. It's not really focusing properly. Let me go and put this hot pan down. Okay, right, I'm going to show you how to do the bottom bits. I'll probably do half of one of them, and then I can, once these have cooled down, I can show you how to glue the actual earrings onto these, and then I can show you how to do a jump lead on these ones. And then you guys will be free to make whatever earrings you like. So let's go with the cocktail stick or your whichever tools you have chosen to use. I'm going to break up. You've got to be careful when you're talking because you can quite easily blow that gold leaf. So tiny bits of this, I'm literally just going to break tiny bits off and stick it on randomly. Make sure some of them overlap the edges. Don't worry about sticking it all down completely, but you just want to get random bits of this gold leaf onto the earrings with a lot of the blue colour coming through. It would probably help if I had the gold leaf closer to my end destination. So are you all happy with the cooking time? We are cooking the Fimo, or sorry, not Fimo, the polymer clay. I used to use a brand called Fimo years ago when I was a kid. I used to love this stuff when I was a kid. But there are many brands that you can use. So we're cooking it for 30 minutes on 100 degrees. Don't do it any hotter than that. You don't want it to burn. You don't want the colour to distort. Once you've got some of the gold leaf on, you can pat it down and you know where you want it to go. You can pat it down with your finger and it will just smush it all to the clay. It's oddly satisfying, isn't it? Deciding where these tiny pieces of gold leaf are going to go. I'm sorry if I've missed any comments. If I have, please ask them again because I do sometimes miss them when I'm concentrating. Oh. How are we all getting on? It's quite a chilled one tonight, isn't it? Everyone's quiet. I assume you're all just kind of in your little zones making some lovely earrings. I can't wait to see what you guys make. Oh. Why do I have the Edge of Glory by what's her face in my head? Lady Gaga. Oh, I love it when it sticks down. And I love it when it comes out of the oven and it's a much darker, deeper colour. And they just look so lovely and professional. You wouldn't know you haven't bought them in a shop. Okay, let's do a little bit more. I'm just going to mash up a load of little bits quickly. Eee. Everyone's so quiet tonight. There's not much chat. You're all just kind of deep in making polymer clay earrings, which is lovely. I do it every time. I almost like get into such a little zone that I'm like, oh man, there's people watching. Just in my little zone, crafting. What a lovely place to be. And I'm absolutely guilty of not giving myself enough time to do this. But I always feel so much better when I do. I don't know about you. I just love the gold leaf bit. I think that's the bit I love the most. Maybe we should do some more gold leaf crafting at some point. It's really satisfying. If you've seen people making those lovely like signs, glass signs, and they get it's almost like magnetic, and they put the gold leaf on, paint the glue on first, and then stick the gold leaf on with almost like a magnet, and then you it's not a magnet, obviously, it's like static, but yeah, it's lovely to watch. And then you just brush off the excess because it all just sticks down. Oops. All right. Didn't want to put that bit there, but it stuck. So that's fine. Is everybody okay? You're all doing well. I think we're nearly there. I just want a couple more little pieces to just even out some little bits. And then I reckon I'm done with these. And I will show you very quickly how to put them all together. Doesn't the time fly when we're doing this? It does for me anyway. Try and teach you as much as I can in the time. I hope that you feel like you get as many of the skills out of it as you can. Ooh. Make sure to go around the edge a little bit with it. Right, I am loving these. They are looking really lovely. How are yours looking? Okay. dropped it. I want maybe a tiny bit more down that corner. I want a bit there. So sit back and have a little look at the overall placement of the gold leaf. I'm pretty happy with mine, so they look a bit like that. It doesn't really focus on that camera. Maybe if I do it really close. Is that better? It's a bit dark. Right, so I can put those in the oven. I'll put those in the oven. Maybe I'll put them in the oven tomorrow because they will be done by the time they cook. Right, I'm going to put those on a separate piece of baking paper, ready to go in the oven tomorrow. They are going to look lovely. Try and make sure they're flat, but I mean, look at that. They're going to look so nice. Right, and I'm just going to go through how to add your earrings to the polymer. Can you see on these, I hope you can, that the colours have come out so beautiful. They've gone like goldy and they're like it's almost like a two-tone colour. Oh, the light, hang on, sorry, dog, I'm just going to shine the light on that. Can you see? Oh, sugar. My hand behind it. Will not focus, will it? You see the two-tone colour of that? Okay. Oh, I'm blowing the gold leaf everywhere. Right, so we have our glue. It's a tiny little thing of super glue. We're just going to screw the lid on, which will break the seal. Screw it on straight. Heard it pop. Oh, thanks for all the likes, lots. Okay, oops. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Be a bit aware of which way round you want your earrings to go. So I have purposefully done my earrings in a way that I wanted them to be a mirror image of each other. So be aware of that. Do you want them to be like rainbows? Do I want them to be upwards smiles? Do I want them to be facing each other or facing away from each other? I think I quite like them facing in. So where I want them to be, flip them over. And what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to glue the earring. Where are my earrings? So in all of the hardware you've got here, there are some pieces that look a little bit like this. There's two of those, okay? I've got two of those out. Okay. If these are flat, it's a lot easier because when you put the glue on, sometimes if you've got the earrings on an angle, say they are ones like these, where I'd stuck them together. When I went to stick the backs on, it was a little bit more tricky because they weren't flat, so that they would slide off a little bit. So you do have to be a bit aware of that. So just the tiniest bit of glue, a little blob of glue, like one drop to cover the whole thing. And we're just going to place it on. I'm not doing it in the middle, but it's up to you. I'm going to do it central, but slightly higher than the middle. So probably in the top third, I'll show you in a sec. I'm going to do the same on the other one, because I don't want them to be too high on my earlobe. I want them to be slightly lower. So think about the placement. Try and make them even. You've got a little bit of wiggle room for a couple of seconds when you first do it. And that is those done. So I'm going to leave those and let them sit. When it comes to drying time, it's only about 10 minutes, but I would leave it 24 hours before you wear them. A full-on cure is 24 hours, okay? To do the jump rings, I will give you this advice. Get some pliers. If you're going to use the jump rings, you'll need some little pliers. If you used you can use DIY ones, or you can just use jewelry ones, or whatever you've got. If you did what did we use these for? We used them for the glass resin flowers. Yeah, they're quite handy. So these are not the ones that I got from the glass resin flowers, but I couldn't find the other ones. So when you are opening these jump rings, be aware, don't pull them open. So if you've got the circle, don't pull it open like that. Twist it. So basically the edges go left and right to each other, like open it sideways. Don't pull it open. You're not opening a bag of crisps. You're pulling it sideways so that you don't distort the shape of the jump ring. Okay, I'm going to show you. So you've got one jump ring there. Oops. And I'm going to try and hold as much of the jump ring as possible. Don't just hold the top ring. Hold the bottom and the top and twist it away from each other. So you're not pulling it open. You've got it like that. Can you see that? No, it's very, very tiny. And that way you don't change the circle. Okay, so you just have the circle is the same and you twist it back in exactly the same way. So when you put you get your two pieces when they're cooked. So after these have cooked, leave them to cool. It'll only take 10 minutes or so. Leave them to cool. Then you can use your jump leads. And then you bend them back in exactly the same way. Try and hold it is a bit more fiddly when the polymer clay is in that, but then you bend it back and then try and close up that hole as much as possible. So with those ones, yeah, you cook them, you do the jump. Why have I forgotten what they're called again? And then you can stick the backs on like that. You've also got plastic backing, plastic backs in this thing. For the you can use these ones in exactly the same way. If you've got a hole, so you could use these to just have the bottom of these rainbows with just a jump ring, one of these attached to a jump ring and to the bottom rainbow if you want to. And then these top ones, exactly the same. Once you've put a hole in the earrings, you either thread one of these jewelry, one of these earring fastenings to it, or you glue the things to the back. It's up to you if you want to varnish them. I think they look really lovely matte, but they also look really lovely varnished. That is a personal preference. Just clear nail varnish. These are pretty much dry, but I wouldn't wear them yet. But they are then a fully fledged earring. How are you guys doing? Is there anything you would like me to go through again? Jump rings. They are called jump rings. Thanks lots. My brain just stops every now and again. Is everybody okay with all of that? Is there anything else you'd like me to go through again? If you would like to join us next month, we are doing cross stitch. So if you'd like to join us and do a lovely Christmassy cross stitch next month, we are going live on, what date is it? I think it's the 10th of December. Let me just check my diary. I should know this off by heart, but I've got the worst memory of anybody in the world ever, I think. The next craft night is Wednesday, the 10th of December. So if you would like to join us next month and learn how to do cross stitch and do a lovely Christmas cross stitch, pop on over to curiousoctopus.art and I will send you everything you need in a kit. If you are a subscriber already, you'll automatically get your kit, and I will join you on Wednesday, the 10th of December to learn how to do cross stitch. If you have any feedback, please do send me a message. I always am trying to improve. I'm glad we've had less issues with the live stream tonight. That's been a bit of a treat. I think it's the first one in a year where we haven't had issues with the streaming. So that's nice. Yeah, is there anything that anyone else would like to go through? I'll keep the earrings we've made on display. Has everybody had a nice time? Has everybody made some earrings that they are proud of? Are you all still there? Are you all still just enjoying doing your earrings? Oh, you're welcome, Diane. Have you enjoyed it? I can't wait to see what you've made. I'm going to fold up my gold leaf so that it doesn't go everywhere, because it very easily gets blown around. And it's just lovely stuff. Reminds me of that lovely gold powder we had in the kintsugi boxes. That stuff is so pigmented. It's just beautiful, and I've used it for some other things. It's just so nice. Thank you for all the likes, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks, Sandra. I'm really glad you had a lovely time. So glad you got your box as well. Right. Yeah, the gold leaf is so relaxing, isn't it? I think I go to do more of the styles, but I just always go back to adding the gold leaf because I just love it. Right, I think we're all good. Is everybody okay? If you've got any more questions, please do feel free to send me a message. Please, 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 please do take pictures and send them to me, or post them and tag me, because I really, really love seeing what you guys have made. So I'd love it. I'd love to see your creations. I hope I've given you a little bit of inspiration, but I do love it when you don't stick exactly to what I've made. I love when you feel that you can be creative enough to do your own thing. So yeah, join me next month. Pop on over to curiousoctopus.art. Give me a like or a follow if you haven't already. That really, really helps. And tell your friends. I mean, and Christmas is just around the corner if you need to buy a box for anyone. Little plug in at the end. Anyway, have a great November. I will see you in December, where we will be full of Christmas spirit, and it will be my year anniversary. How exciting. Thank you so much for being a part of it. And yeah, I will see you next month. Bye.